is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. And once again, I am your boy Smooth, along with
Bunny.
When it's about sports.
You know what? It still becomes our business.
And business continues to pick up.
Pick up.
Bunny, what's happening over there? How you doing?
Hey, just over here living life like a turkey. That's all.
Gobble, gobble.
Wobble, wobble, gobble, gobble. Exactly what I've been doing. Wobbling and gobbling. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man. We hope that each and every one of y'all who is tuned in right now are having a great Wednesday. We have another incredible show in store for you. Make sure y'all go ahead right now. Share this if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook. Share this stream, like it, share it, let the whole world know that we have an incredible show. Of course, incredible topics and another incredible guest who will be joining us around the 7:30-ish time frame. So definitely stay tuned, but get them shares going right now. We want to get this show to this trend because we have another special show in store. Speaking of special, Bunny, I know that this could be possibly, bittersweet. So for those who can see right now, she got that bun, no pun intended, in the oven. And so tonight is her plan on typing her last night, probably until 2022, but we shall see. So for those who know Bunny, she want to show her love. If you don't know her, get some emojis going on, some good lucks, some prayers, the whole nine, because hopefully she will be. I'm guaranteed she's gonna have a Scorpio baby.
Because you're born November 18th, right?
17th.
17th.
Yeah. So Scorpios, let's go. Another Scorpio baby is on the way. So everyone show her love as she goes through this. This is part 2 for her. Another, should I say, whirlwind or time or adventure, anything you want to put on it. She's about to experience it very, very soon. So, Bunny, how do you feel? I know I asked you earlier during the pre-show talk, but how you feel so far? Maybe this being the last show for 2021. Stay tuned. What's happening?
It feels like, let's get this show on the road. Don't want to speed it up, but I want to get this part of the show on the road so that I can get my other part of the show on the road, which is back to streaming and being on the platform sports talk show. And I want to attend, in-person games in the St. Louis area. But again, all that have to be paused for who knows, weeks, months, we'll see. But I want to get this going. And so I go back to what I love to do best besides being a mommy, which is entertained by sports. So we shall see.
Yeah, and as I was telling you earlier on the pre-show talk, my mom was like, she's gonna be going that long. I don't think she can hold off so much because she loves So, you have the urge, kind of like a retired player or a player who's been gone from the game for a little bit, and they just like got that urge to want to just dip back in. So I'm like, Bunny loves talking about sports, and something happens. She's gonna want to go ahead and address it and talk about it. So we shall see. But once again, definitely prayers up to you. Once again, for those watching, thank you very much. If this is your first time checking us out, we've been doing this for 4 years strong, and it keeps getting better and better, y'all. We came a long way, and we thank y'all for being part of our show. Once again, go ahead and share this post right now, and just see on the bottom of the screen, leave us comments. Do not be shy. This show is for you. Whatever sports topic is on your mind that you want to discuss, go ahead and post it. You'll see your questions on the screen. We're going to make you famous tonight.
Hey, you forgot to tell them about YouTube, but they on YouTube.
Yeah. So once again, you're on Facebook, hit that share, hit that like, Twitter, the retweet, YouTube. There's something different you got to do, though. You got to like it. You got to share it. But also, you got to subscribe. Click on that. Because anytime we go live,
and you back there. I see you. You
Right
with me.
there. Yep. Oh,
Look,
no,
you
right
too.
there. There
I
you
know
go. Hold on,
anytime I the bell, somebody
You
must
over
make
there?
an
Yep, I see you. Yep, you too. Oh, another star of
Anytime
the
I
show.
hit a bell, she want to make her guest appearance. Say hi.
See, there's part 1 right there. Part 2 is on the way.
Girl, we already did the bell. You want to hear the bell one time?
Gotta ring that bell. There we go.
Tell them so they can be notified on YouTube. And also, our shows are archived on Roku now, guys. Tune into that. Yes, go look at our old shows.
So make sure y'all go ahead and add us on any Roku TV device. Just put in the platform Sports Talk Show. You'll see us on there. You'll see a few of our past episodes since we just started on Roku about a good month or so now. So definitely follow us everywhere. Just put in the platform Sports Talk Show, and you'll see all the interviews we've had with so many people. It's just been incredible, and the show does not stop. So speaking of which, Bunny, let's go right into it real quick before we get our special guest on. So you all know about the Cleveland Indians baseball team as of next season. Called the Cleveland what?
Shoot, I forgot because of the name. I couldn't really pronounce.
The Cleveland Guardians.
That's right, the Guardians. Yeah, which
so it was posted today that there is a team already in Cleveland called the Guardians. It is a roller derby team called the Guardians. And so today they just put in to sue Major League Baseball team for the same name.
You're going to sue them. So how does that hold up in court? Because if it's not trademarked,
it is though.
So the roller derby team trademarked the name Guardians, or another team. You know, if it's trademarked, that organization is one that can sue, not another person with their name.
Yep.
So they say they have it, so they're going to sue. Now, who dropped the ball? If this is true, MLB organization that's Cleveland Indians, with all the lawyers, money they have, how did this slip through the cracks?
So here we go. I'm reading through an article right now. The lawsuit was filed 3 months after the Indians announced it would change its name following the 2021 season in response to years of pressure from the Native American groups. Then the roller derby team lawyer said in a complaint that 2 sports teams in the same city cannot have identical names. There cannot be 2 Cleveland Guardians teams in Cleveland. The co-ed roller derby team said it used the Guardians name since 2013 and registered it with Ohio in 2017. So there we go right there. It's already registered.
But you can have 2 teams with the same name. As the St. Louis Cardinals have a football and a baseball team. You can. And look, not a roller derby. We're talking about major franchises. So you can, number one.
Franchise.
Number 2, what all they going to do is just settle out of court. You know that. It's just to get money. This will help their organization. Roller derby, I don't know how big it is in Cleveland for that group, but they're going to settle out of court.
And as you just said, for example, I'm reading the article. For example, New York had baseball and football teams named the Giants from 1925 to 57, while St. Louis had teams in those sports named the Cardinals from 1960 to 87. Trademark lawyer said Wednesday's lawsuit was not frivolous, but would likely be settled with the Indians paying money to the roller derby team to use the Guardians name. So pretty much the Indians or the Major League Baseball team will give the roller derby team, a nice little hefty fine. Well, not fine, but some money. Like,
it's gonna be set out of court, but it's gonna be a lot to the roller derby team. To the Guardians, it's gonna be, the old Cleveland organization, it's gonna be chump change.
Right. Yeah. So it's just pretty much they know that the roller derby team knows, that they're not going to be, when you hear Guardians, you're not going to think about them anymore. It's going to be the baseball team. So they in their fees and trying to sue and everything.
It's a come up for them. I give it. It's only going to cost them with the lawyer fees and how long they'll set us out of court. It's not going to cost them a lot. Like I said, the roller derby team, it may be big in Cleveland. I don't know if we have one here in St. Louis or not, but I know you're not going to even get, somebody to say, oh, we can't have a St. Louis Blues roller derby team here because there's already St. Louis Blues hockey. We're going to sue and going to get millions. No. Y'all going to get a little something for your organization. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. And as you see your brother with the same comment you were saying, the Cardinals and the Giants, the football Giants and baseball Giants back in the day. So, yeah, so it's very possible. I'm pretty sure, like I said, money talks. So one party will probably be cool. Like, okay, we'll take this money and have a great season, Guardians.
Right. And in the meantime, on the MLB level, which is much, much bigger, much more money, is going to be posterized, billboards. I bet you the people in Cleveland didn't know the Guardians existed as a roller derby team.
Yeah. So, sticking with baseball, let's talk about the Cardinals real quick. And for those wondering about Joe, she is not on tonight because her second team, the Astros, are playing. And she knew that she'd probably be having a lot of beers like Stone Cold Steve Austin. So she probably wouldn't be ready to talk sports right now. So, Joe, shouts out to you. I know you're probably mad that your Astros lost last night.
Got that big L. And, no, that wasn't their picture. That was the Braves picture. Who's going out with the fibula? Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a crazy incident. The ball went off the player's bat, 102 miles per hour off the bat, right to the leg. And then he thought he was all good. He got it checked out. They didn't see anything. So he go back out the next inning and pitches and strikes out Altuve as his last batter. Then he's like, you know what? It don't feel too right. And a turn around, he got a broken leg.
A whole broken leg. Like, what the?
But going back real quick, the Cardinals. So it was announced that Oliver Ali Marmot is the new manager. I'm pretty sure you may have seen some clips of his interview or articles since he's been a manager. Do you have any thoughts on that move and what to expect from him?
So first, shout out to the Cardinals organization. For years, I've always expressed that they do not do enough hiring of people that are non-white. I won't say necessarily people of color, but we'll say non-white. But blacks, Hispanics, I don't think they do enough hiring the organization, let alone sometimes drafting. But here nor there, shout out to them because he is considered the second manager of color for the organization. Our organization for the Cardinals is literally over 120 years old, y'all. This is only the second manager of color. But shout out to him. Shout out for somebody in their 30s doing this as well. He's 35 and his track record is a little different because now I read with Shildt. Shildt never played Major League or minor league baseball.
Right.
And Marmot, he's similar. He got drafted, did a couple of years, and then went to coaching in our minor league system. So
right.
You can say he was a player literally for 3 years and then started coaching, but he's still in his 30s young. So maybe the Cardinals trying to break into that mold like a couple other organizations got people young, and not just in this sport, but other sports. Sometimes it's good to fresh air, but it's somebody internal. And you said that they'll probably get somebody internal, which I think after La Russa, that's kind of the new Cardinal way. When they want to replace you, they go internal. I don't know if it made good or not. It just depends your perspective, but we'll see. I hope the best for him. He's inheriting a club that we saw what happened at the end of the season. It's like we needed this in the middle of the season. So he doesn't have a bad roster in general. We still need to do some moves in the off season, but hopefully it seems like, the little bit of feedback I've read, people are receptive of him. And hopefully he has the support, and I wish him the best. And let's just see, go Cards, do what you got to do, making mistakes early in the season managing, but by mid-season, please don't wait too late so we don't do a repeat of this year and wait to the end and still don't, really make the playoffs. So.
And to answer your brother's question, Okendo does not want the job.
He doesn't want it.
He told the organization that he was not interested in getting into coaching. He said that a few years back after he got the job. So he's good with just being an instructor, helping the minor league guys getting together, getting ready. So, because a lot of people has been saying, what about Okendo? How come he doesn't want the job? He told him he's good. He's past that now. He just wants to be low key, lay low, and just chill and assist the youth and others in instructing and getting them ready for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it was a little too late. The Cardinals, when they got rid of La Russa, that was the time to get okay. That would have been like their last time. After that, when he got overlooked, he was like he's done. But the organization he still gives his time to, pay him, but he still like works with the team in Jupiter. He like working with the minor league. And then when we desperately needed him, 3 years ago, when our defense was trash on top of trash,
base running was terrible.
They flew him to St. Louis with the same blink of an eye when they were just like, enough is enough. Like they didn't wait, like get up here yesterday, and it worked. So we know what Okendo can do, and everybody knows around the league what he can do and what he's known for. So I know I read that he interviewed with another organization or two about manager position, but like you said, he's past that. He family man, don't want to travel, because I know we see in the day, games here, they'll travel with the players, but they have personal life too. They got family, grandkids. Sometimes they don't want to deal with that part of life anymore. Because being a manager, you're still on the road with your players. You're still missing time away from home. That's one thing he wanted to not deal with anymore.
Yeah. So my thoughts on Ali Marmol, I love it. I love the move. I feel this is a change of culture type move. Mozeliak, he didn't specify more details in regards to the interview this past Monday, but he did say that him, the organization, and Shield did have some internal differences. And I brought up a few things last week to Joe, but I feel some of the things that was going on, just from my perspective, was I felt that Shield made a lot of sentimental and personal decisions and not baseball decisions. And I think that's going to be different with Marmol.
So when you say sentimental, you mean off of, okay, this has been my guy all
exactly
week. Because they said that day, meaning I guess writers, about Matheny. Matheny would use I'm gonna stick with my guy type thing instead of let's get this win for the series or whatever. So that's the same thing.
The bottom line is Schilt may have tried to use his old methods and trying to play certain players based off of what they did in the past. A sentimental reason. It suffers saying, wait a minute, this guy hits better against this pitcher or whatever, or against lefties or against righties. Like for instance, Schilt always had like pretty much the same lineup every game, in which if you look at the Giants, if you look at other teams around the league, what Marmol is saying right now is that he's gonna put his best lineup that's gonna give them a chance to win. Not just saying automatically from game 1 to 162, you're gonna see Goldschmidt back and forth every game. No, it's about the matchup because that's how the game is being played now. The analytics.
Matchup.
You know what I'm saying? So if, for instance, Tommy Edman, if he is terrible against righties, but Bader is great against righties, instead of keeping Tommy Edman batting number 1, you might see Bader hit number 1 because it's against the righty, and you have Edman batting lower. So he wants to put the best lineup on the field every game, not just saying, because it's this guy here, he's going to bat in the same spot every game.
Okay, because, let me ask you this. Does that work when you're dealing with veterans? It can work with Arenado. I mean, he got some years in the league, but he's still not a Yachty and a Wayno. Can you do that same concept on them?
That depends on the manager and how Ali Marmol delivers his message to the team. Now, for what I'm hearing, he already has respect from those guys, from those core guys. But it's all about how you deliver it as a leader. That's why you are a manager. You know what I'm saying? It's the way that you do it. It's not about being like Mike Keenan was with the Blues and was being an asshole about stuff. But it's all about you being a player's coach, but you also letting them know, hey, this is the focus. This is the plan. This is the way that we can really succeed as a team. And these are the signs of the times. Like, as you brought up La Russa, we're not living in that La Russa method of coaching anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
White Sox still dealing with it, and they win, but
But they had better players too, didn't they? And so that's also a big thing with the front office is that now that Marmol has this specific way of how you want to do things, it's up to the front office to make sure that they provide him with the pieces that he needs. So this offseason is going to be very crucial to get someone like a Corey Seager. It's going to be big to get, other bats, especially now that we're going to have DH more than likely. It's going to be big to acquire some talented guys coming up on, to the squad in 2022 season. You can't be like, can't do what you did this past season and you hamstrung by having certain guys on the team that can't provide more than this one thing.
But see that I guess that part has been working for the last few years, not just this past season, the last few years. 2016 Cubs won the World Series. After that, boom, went back to basically their old ways. The division is so weak. Like this last 2 seasons, the Brewers have been up and up, and they're still gonna be up and up because their pitching staff is young and they're good. So if we had more than one team that we had to look out for, I think the organization would do more. But they know how weak the Central Division is.
And that could be a gift from the curse because, as you said, these last 2-3 years, the division hasn't been as strong as it has been. That's the time that we as Cardinal fans are expecting to dominate the division, and we have not done that. We've stayed in the pack, so we haven't rose above Milwaukee, what I'm saying, like we should have. We're still in the same area.
Because they okay, for once, you got to give it to Milwaukee's pitching staff. They're younger and they're good. And they saw this coming. The organization saw back in, like I said, the Cubs won it all 2016. But the organization knew from 5 years ago, we got this group farm system because they weren't traded for these guys. They've had them. We know that we can actually do something. And now they're on the majors and they're doing something. And so who else? We thought the Reds could make some noise. They kind of did a little bit this season. They didn't. We heard that last season. I still think they're a fluke. I used to think the Brewers were a fluke, and they're not. They used to fall off at All-Star break. Now they're here. It's like you're saying they need to stop being complacent, but the organization was dominant from like 2010 up until like 2012 before then. 2000 when Pujols got here. So pretty much 2001 to like 2015 for the most part, we ran the division. That's an anomaly. Not too many other organizations can say that about their divisions. Our time right now is just to get back there.
So check this out. So as you were saying that, during that time where we were, like you said, clowning from the Pujols era to the Matheny era, that's when teams start to figure out what are the Cardinals doing that has them at the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are that team that's trying to figure out what are the Dodgers, what are the Giants, what are the Astros doing. So we are now at that point where we're that team trying to figure out what's the new wave so we can get into it. And that's the reason why they got Marmol.
I guess analytics, like you said, would be their breakthrough because with the La Russa, that wasn't his thing. He's old school. I get it.
Exactly.
You don't always have to be that way because I don't think Joe Madden is an analytical guy. I believe. No, I know he's not like that. He eventually got that way. He for years was not like that. He wasn't receptive to that.
These last few years, remember when he was the Cubs, he used to have like Chris Bryant batting leadoff or Kyle Schwarber or even Rizzo. He did whatever it took to shake the line.
Right. And I know somebody was in his ear because, again, just reading how he was, he didn't like, okay, let's do this. Somebody told, which is nothing wrong with it because every person we see in front of the microphone that speaks on the coaching staff, the head coach, head manager, you got people around you for a reason because you missed something. Nobody's perfect. And you need people to tell you, and then you either get the credit or get the blame, but it is what it is. That's just the nature of the business. But that's why I hope for Marmol. Blah, 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 blah. Renaming this guy. I just hope for him that he'll have success. And you said earlier, the front office need to give him the pieces. But because he's so young and this is newer territory for him, he's been coaching, but not as a head coach.
I mean, but
he gets a voice.
but he has been a bench coach, and he's like that next person. Anytime Shilp gets ejected from the game, who's the manager? Marmo.
Right. But I'm just talking about with the front office. Again, okay, it's easier. You got your parents, you got kids in the house. Yeah. The youngest kid, usually what you say is like, oh, the oldest kid that may hear out more, but then still the parent makes the decision, but we need to work together. So hear me out, mom and dad. I'm telling y'all, try this. If they be able to tell them no, shut them down all the time, you're not going to do it. But then they listen like, all right, son, so let me hear what you got to say. All right, we'll try it. And it works. They be like, oh, okay, let's try it again. You got to give them a chance to speak, because I can see working with Mosaic, your favorite president, said GM, of shut something down. I don't want to hear twice, because he's like, we hired you. It's basically, you don't want him to be a puppet. Let him get his voice, because you need to clash to sometimes to work stuff out to try from a different perspective. We talking about with baseball analytics, games changing. Like you said, going to introduce a DH. Gino, I'm not lying. First of all, I wasn't talking about us. I'm saying when you're dealing with parents and kids, it doesn't always have to be when you're quote unquote growing up. I'm talking about even as adults. Thank you very much, sir. Anyway, you're dealing with a new manager. Yeah, I don't want Mosaic to be like, okay, you're new. I hired you. Do it this way and go about your business. No, let him voice his opinion. Because some GMs may not like it, but they'll still hear him out. Because you got to sometimes change stuff if it's not working. And that's why I was thinking, I don't have an issue with Mosaic because he, in general, if you look over the last even 10 years, he's produced results. And that organization wouldn't give him the president title if he wasn't trying to be quartered away. So they know he's done some good stuff. At the same time, you be like, get on his nerves. He doesn't do what you want. He don't open up their wallet. I get it. But overall, he does do a good job. And you just need to make sure this is a younger manager. Let him speak. Let him give you different perspectives before you try to shut him down.
Well, I will say this. It's the reason why they hired Marmo. So I'm pretty sure they had that discussion already in regards to what he's expecting, what they expect from him, and what he expects from them. So everything that you're saying right now, I know they already had the conversation, because that's why he got the job. So I look forward to seeing what's going to happen with this team. I'm excited. I was saying this on Monday. I feel he's going to be the Alex Cora of the Cardinals. The effect that Cora had outside the cheating part. But he's going to do what Cora did for the Red Sox. I can see the same thing with Marmo for the Cardinals. Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on the World Series matchup overall?
Between the Braves and the Stros. So, because Joe loves her Stros, I'm like, they know for cheating, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't mind seeing the Braves win. It's been a while they actually won it all. But then I also want Dusty Baker to get a win as a manager. So I don't know. I'm in between. In general, I try to root for everybody black. So that's one up that Joe would like about that, because I want the Stros for that. But then I do want to see the Braves win. But then again, after the Braves. Because I'm like, they're not in our division, but we played them in the playoffs a couple of years and they beat us. So. But then I don't want the cheating Astros. So I think it'll still be a good World Series. And all in all, it's going to be a good World Series. I just don't know who I want to win yet.
Yeah. The Braves are probably playing. No, they are playing the best baseball of the playoffs. Ever since they made that move around July of the trade deadline to acquire new pieces after Acuna got hurt and other guys, we just totally revamped their roster and made things happen. And they are the hottest team playing to defeat the Brewers, to defeat the Dodgers, how they done, and then winning game 1 yesterday. The Braves are looking mighty good, but we shall see what happens in regards to this series now that Charlie Morton is out. They had to use a lot of pitchers yesterday, so we'll see how the pitching holds up. But the Astros, we know they are a great team, and they will not back down. Look what they did against Boston.
This is their 5th ALCS they got, right?
Yeah, so they're on the road. They are definitely on the road. Let's speak about on the road real quick. How about our St. Louis Blues? First time in franchise history, 5-0 start. I'm showing love to the Blues. Check out my backdrop. We at the Enterprise Center right now. Show on the Jumbotron, doing big things. We making it happen. But yeah, man, exciting start. I know once again, Joe, who is our baseball and hockey insider, I know she's excited about the Blues. They've been playing extremely well. Unfortunately, today it was not yesterday. It was announced that Ryan O'Reilly, along with Patrick Sod, they sorry not Patrick, but his last name is Sod. Sorry about the first name, but they are both out due to COVID related protocols. So it'll be the first time that Ryan O'Reilly, since he became a Blue, 4 years ago now, that he won't be in the lineup playing. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, but besides that, this team has depth. They have a mixture of youth and veterans. The team is flying. Bennington and Huso, they're playing incredible. So shouts out to the Blues. They're doing big things. And our favorite fan,
Miss Williams. Hi, Miss Williams.
Here we go. Yeah, so once again, great start for the Blues. Keep it going.
Just great. Remind me of January of 2019. After we were at the bottom of the barrel, and then we started our winning streak. And I'm getting nervous because we had to come from the bottom of the bottom to do the winning streak to go to playoffs and win it all. And now we started off the season. I don't want it to go reverse. So I'm scared. I'm like, keep it going. But I'm like, don't falter. So I'm holding my breath.
Yep. But yeah, I'm very excited. Even like Tarasenko, he's playing like he's back in.
But I think his agent
Tarasenko.
His agent tell him, you better keep your stock up. You're still trying to get traded. You can't do nothing because nobody's gonna want you. So you ask Kuzma, Kuzma. He whole nother issue with Philadelphia. You gotta get your stock up. So you gotta play, show that you got trade value. That's the issue that Tarasenko facing. I think that's why he wants to play well, because he still want to leave. He just need to do what he need to do, which is score goals, act like a team player until you get your trade. Tell Kuzma to take notes because brother's in trouble.
Yep. So once again, shouts out to the Blues. Great start. Keep doing what y'all doing. Use that depth. Use that youthful energy, and keep on playing great hockey. Let's shock the world. Let's do it.
Let's go LGB, baby. 2022. We want that cup again.
And then NFL talk. What are your thoughts now on the season? We're like in week 7? I'm sorry, upcoming. It'll be week 8, starting tomorrow.
But my prediction for Super Bowl is busted already.
Man,
time to turn it around.
Mine's done.
I had the Chiefs, and they got time to turn around. But if they did, they would have to go in as a wild card. They got too many losses. Yeah. I mean, they defense last year, the line was suspect, but they held it together. The offensive line, the defense just got worse. Like they are trash. Like I'm like, what was the offseason? What did y'all think was gonna happen? And I'm gonna remind me of the Cardinals. If you don't do any changes and you know where you have your issues, why aren't you doing the changes? Forget adjustment. That's in-game stuff. Changes, meaning changing personnel. Like GM, president, this is what y'all paid to do. Like, don't tell me we didn't know anybody out there. That's a effing lie, because you knew before the end of the season that y'all needed help. You had 6+ months to figure this out. I'm not talking about the defense is trash. Like college players' first year trash.
I agree.
That's my thought. Sorry, just a tangent with the Chiefs, because I just thought that would be better than what.
And this is to the point that even the offense looking kind of suspect. You know, Patrick Mahomes doing all these interceptions. It seems like the NFL is kind of caught up to what he's been doing, and they're taking away his strong points.
Like when the Super Bowl, when they lost it, granted they didn't have his protection because he was going to go a lot in the Super Bowl against the Bucks, but we knew one of his better linemen was gone. So that part of now where he's doing interceptions, he's not getting that time. I still don't think that's all on talent on him. I still think that protection's not there like it should be. Again, people can get hit. I mean, y'all meaning writers, Sportspedia, that Lamar Jackson after his second year and not doing as good with the Ravens, they thought the league caught up with him because I thought maybe they got hit the game. And look at Lamar now. He still got the talent. The talent doesn't leave you as long as you don't have an injury. It's just what's going on around you. So Lamar proving people wrong. My sophomore year was not a fluke. Third year clowning, he may not have been. He's in MVP talk, but clearly they're talking about what's his name in Arizona. But still, Patrick Mahomes, I don't think it's the talent. I think it was around him. We know Andy Reid can coach. I don't think it's coaching. I don't know the coordinator that's calling the plays, but it's around him, I think, more his issue. And now it's like, well, let's put it all on Patrick. That's not fair, but that's how this game goes. They love you when you're winning. They hate you when you're losing. It is what it is.
Yeah, and as we've been saying, their defense is terrible. Now I'm looking at the standings right now, and they do have opportunities to come back. So
but if they do come back, it has to be a miracle where you damn near only lose 2 more games. But other than that, you're going to also deal with wild card at this point. I mean, but you got to still. It's not a flip of a switch. This is going to be a change that has to be gradual because it's not one thing like just the whole defense clear, but it's too many parts. But hope they figure it out because again, like I said, Patrick is talented. I don't want them to be okay. He's horrible garbage, and it's all on him. But that's the nature of the beast. But Seattle, again, they're in trouble. But we know once what's his name got injured, that kind of screwed them up. So that not all on them. They lost their quarterback. He's gonna be gone for a few weeks. So.
Well, as I was saying before, in regards to the Chiefs, they have opportunity because they are 3-4 right now. The Chargers are 1 game ahead of them, and the Raiders are 2 games ahead. So they have plenty of time to turn things around. Because in football, like they always say, any given Sunday. That's true. And both teams, the Raiders and the Chargers, can have that 1-2 game losing streak, while the Chiefs have a 2 game winning streak, and then they still face solid against each other. Later on in the season. So we shall see. But once again, the defense sucks. I'm concerned about Patrick Mahomes and what's going on with the offense. Looks like the team just doesn't look like they are excited. They're engaged right now.
Did they lose the nucleus of the team, or at least on offense, or the same people, but the coordinators are not changing up the plays enough because people got hip to them? Like, it's not a one-fix-all issue here. Like I said, I'm talking the defense is trash, but offense needs to change some things too. So who was that on?
And I mean, of course, it's all about adjustment, the coaching staff. Because as I said before, as you brought up, the Super Bowl, that exposed the Chiefs. What the Buccaneers did to the Chiefs, even though like you said before, they didn't have the O-line, but the tape is out there now. The Buccaneers the Buccaneers put in the blueprint, the framework on how to stop the offense of the Chiefs. So it's up to the coordinators to figure out what can we do different.
And then I work on that enough. But remember when Stan and I was going back at it, we're talking about these predictions. What did I say? It is hard to repeat any sport, and especially in football, to even get to a championship game, let alone win it. Did I not say that? Because the Chiefs is going to no Super Bowl and barely a playoff right now. If they don't get their together within a couple of weeks.
Right.
So it's hard.
So our guest, he is finally ready to get on the show. Before I get to that, the Bills are still leading in the AFC East, 1 game over the Patriots. In the AFC North, the Bengals and the Ravens are tied 5-2. In the AFC South, the Titans, man, Derrick Henry, my guy, he wants to win the MVP like today. The way he's playing right now.
Ask your boy in Arizona Cardinals, though, if that can happen.
Yes. Speaking of which, in the NFC West, the Cardinals are 7-0. The Rams are right behind 6-1. In the NFC East, the Cowboys 5-1. I think that division's already locked up. And then in the NFC North, Packers 6-1. And NFC South,
relax. I told y'all.
Here's 6-1. And yes, Derrick Henry is that player we all used to create on Madden. Exactly, just straight beast moding it. It's just ridiculous. So
I just went on record again. I told y'all to relax about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Y'all, he did this 3 years ago. I told y'all to relax because everybody hit the panic button. What they doing? But side note, Panthers, are they putting their foot in their mouth? They don't have Cam Newton. The quarterback sucks. They're ready to bench him. Who they looking for now? They need somebody to lead them because who they have ain't working. So Panthers, do y'all want to get Cam Newton back? At this point, they're desperate to me.
First, it was looking all good. Sam Darnold was like, okay, here we go. But now, now it lost 4 in a row ever since then.
Cam Newton said, hey, y'all want me back? You better pay me, but I can do. Hey, he's chilling. He's still in shape. Hey, if I don't care if y'all got what's up boy that they unofficially banned, blackballed, Kaepernick. Y'all need somebody.
All right. So, wait a minute. So your brother asked this question. So Cam Newton is officially vaccinated. So he's good to go. It's just a matter of if a team wants to go ahead and pick him up. But with that being said, everyone, it is that time. This man here, he doesn't know, or maybe he does know, man. But I've been trying to get him booked for maybe about 2 years, man. But my persistence pays off because I finally got him on. We finally made things happen. But when I say about this man here, when I first saw him at SLU, I would call him like the quiet assassin. He wasn't the kind of like, loud mouth guy like Gary Payton kind of type, whatever. He just played this game. He was a terrific scorer, shooter. He was known for them high socks back in the day as well. I'll recall it. But just an overall good dude. He helped put SLU during that era on the map. Him and Scotty Highmark and so many others that we're going to be discussing very soon. But this guy here, he's definitely a treasure. They call SLU University right in the crown jewel of St. Louis. And this man here is a crown jewel himself. Without any further ado, we have SLU Hall of Famer from men's basketball team and current SLU High School head basketball coach, the one and only Erwin Claggett. Clags, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Claggett's in the building virtually.
Hey, y'all talking about football, man. You didn't mention the Dallas Cowboys, though.
Because I don't care about them Cowboys. F them Cowboys. Shout out to Ezekiel St. Louis on, but besides that,
there you go.
You got a Cowboys fan. I did say earlier they 5-1, and I feel like they got the division already locked up.
No question. And that ain't real hard in the NFC East, though, but I'll take it.
No, I mean, the NFC East hasn't been a good division for the last couple of years now. So it's the perfect time for the Cowboys to, do their thing. But, hey, welcome to the platform. Sports Talk Show. It's definitely an honor.
I got to take my hat on Smoooth because I first met him, 5+ years ago. Shout out to one of your former students, Sergio Goodwin. And he said hi.
Oh, that's
he wanted to tune in tonight, but he had to get ready for an exam, academics first. So I said, I'll give him a shout out for you.
Oh, that's my guy, man. Serge is my guy, man.
And that's my nutcase brother that's leaving comments, but it was funny when I first met you, Coach Claggett. I was like, man, he's so cool. Mind you, I'm a little baby. So when you were at the prime, when you were doing your thing at SLU, I knew of you, but I didn't know you. Then I did research after the fact. I'm like, okay, that's who he is. Late than never, right?
Better late than never. It's all good.
Then Serge's mom, Suzanne / Coach Goodwin. She's like, are you interviewing Claggett today? I said, yes, we're interviewing him. She's like, oh man, she can't tune in either. She busy like you, assistant AD.
Well, y'all were hard on my man. It worked out though. Y'all were hard on Serge, boy. He didn't have a chance.
He got to have high expectations. I mean, the brother is at University of Michigan, computer engineering major, graduates in May.
Yep. That's what I said. It worked out.
All worked out. Hey, Clash, do me a favor. Turn your phone sideways so we can get a full view of you.
Oh, okay.
You need a second. So how you turn it and go blank? What the heck?
What did I do? Oh, there you go. I was trying to get on my computer, but for some reason my camera on my computer wouldn't come on.
I see the background there, so I don't know if you're at home or in the office. I see that background got pictures, we got trophies.
Yeah, I'm in my office. I'm still at school in my office.
Are you still teaching also? What was it? History or something?
Yep. I'm still teaching history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bunny. He knew he was gonna be on the show live, so he had to show off the
Oh no. Oh no. I can't show you the whole office because it's kind of a mess in here. So
I mean, you busy. You about to get ready for basketball. Y'all,
it is.
Y'all doing
Yeah, it is.
It's
right around the corner.
Yeah, so I get it. It's all good.
Yeah, man. So for everyone watching, feel free. This is your opportunity. Leave comments. You got any questions? You got any stories you want to say? Whatever it is, leave the comments. We'll show it just like this. Stanley says you're virtually flexing.
I'm telling you, look, Serge does not get his wit from his uncle. But Stanley, as y'all see there, that boy.
All right, so who does he get them from then? Who does he get them from?
Gino got issues. I don't know, because my daddy not like that. My daddy is comical in the life of a party, but it ain't like Gino, or sorry, Stanley. And then Malik, he actually gets a lot from my daddy. Malik walks like my father, whistles. It's crazy. It's like Malik. You will.
Man, Sergio was a legend around here when he left.
I heard. I'm like, Malik, you the man like that?
Yes, he was.
When you first approach him, he's so cool, calm, and quiet. You wouldn't even think he got that way, but he is funny. That's my homie.
That's the best way to be.
So, usually I start with a few questions and everything, but we're going to do things a little bit different because this is going to be Bunny's possibly last show for the year. And she gets ready for her bun in the oven to pop very soon. Okay. So I'm going to have Bunny go ahead and lead off whatever she want to ask you now before she leaves around the 8 o'clock hour. Give the opportunity to go ahead and get her questions out the way. So, Bunny, the show is yours.
What you got?
Sorry about the background noise, but question, sports. That's my heart. That's your love. But what was the first sport that you fell in love with?
Ooh. First sport I fell in love with. Gotta be basketball. I played all three. Growing up, I played, just like I'm pretty sure a lot of kids, but I played basketball, baseball. We didn't have football like in a traditional sense. We had like Sandlot, kill a man with the football, and we threw it around in the neighborhood. But as far as organized, definitely it was baseball and basketball.
Okay. Trying to be a well-rounded person. So when you said y'all didn't have football, let me ask you, what part of St. Louis you grew up in?
No, I didn't grow up in St. Louis. I'm from Venice, Madison. Yeah, I'm from on the east side.
On the east side?
That's right.
Oh, snap.
Shout out to Venice, Madison, Brooklyn, East St. Louis.
Oh, snap. I look, and all I thought they had was the strip clubs over there.
Don't do me like that. You know, it's a lot of superstars from over there now.
Hey, we
get it out the mud over there. That's why we a little different.
Hey, yeah, you're not lying. I'm from the St. Louis side, so teach me more about the Illinois side. I know about a couple of East Side Lincoln High legends, but you said Venice and Brook. Teach me, shoot.
man, it was so. I'll tell you this though, honestly, and I might be a little biased because I'm not from St. Louis, but it was a lot of talent over there in that area, in a lot of different areas, sports, academics, like everything. It is. It was some really talented people over there. Naturally, I wasn't the first, so I had to watch somebody. And I had plenty to watch from.
That's what's up. So, what school did you attend in high school?
Well, I went to Madison High School, which was like a Madison Venice, basically in the same neighborhood. They have two high schools and basically streets, pretty much divide them. So I went to Madison High School all the way up until my freshman year, and then I transferred and went to Venice because I moved right across the street from the high school. Transferred involuntarily, but it worked out for the better. Venice was. It was kind of like what I needed. Like I said, it was right across the street from my house. Mom moved over there. So, but Venice and Madison, it's pretty much the same neighborhood. It's all love over there.
That's what's up. So, no, no, Bunny asked about the first sport that you fell in love with.
Mhm.
What about just overall in general? When would you say that you fell in love with sports?
Man, I mean, I could probably go all the way back to probably 5, 6 years old. I played t-ball, baseball growing up. I would pretty much leave the baseball field and then find a basketball rim, and I get it in on a basketball rim. You know, we had a bunch of cousins in the hood, so you know we played sandlot football. But probably 5 or 6 years old, if it's probably the earliest I can remember where I really kind of like fell in love. That was kind of what I wanted to do. Of course, with baseball growing up, it was Hank Aaron and guys like that we kind of looked up to, older guys in the league that were knocking it out of parks and doing different things. And then basketball, it was Dr. J and Magic Johnson and guys like that. So definitely those are kind of like my first memories of falling in love with it.
Okay. So take me back to. Oh my gosh, sorry. Take me back to the good old elementary school days. So being over there, you're doing sports, you're doing these different things. Anything outside of sports that caught your attention that you may want to try as something in the future, or just strictly sports?
Man, it's crazy. You probably won't believe it, but I was a band geek.
Woo!
Yeah, I played. My sister was in a band. She's 5 years older than me. I can remember when I was in she was in high school at the time. I was probably in like the 5th or 6th grade. You know, I watched her play an instrument. She played the clarinet, and the flute. You know, and that was just something that I really liked. So when I got to grade school, um, I really took a liking to band. I played the tuba. I played the baritone, I played the tuba, I played the sousaphone, an instrument that kind of wrap around. I probably sucked at the time, but I really liked it. And it was just something different. I always been a person that, as much as I love basketball, and you know, kind of growing up, I was a little well-rounded. I used to do a lot of things. Like I was band, I sung in the choir. I used to like reading books, and you know, I was probably a little bit different than probably a traditional athlete growing up.
It
So was
definitely
this
must be a
something that,
band geek.
that came from your parents? You know, you just get into a whole lot of different activity, not just one particular thing.
Yeah, I think my mom did a real good job. My sister was involved in so much outside of sports, and my mom did a good job of like getting her involved in a lot of things, and I just kind of gravitated it towards.
Oh, for some reason we can't hear you.
Watch her grind every
Okay,
day
he's back.
as a single parent, and that was something that she really kind of pushed for us to do a lot of different things. You know, naturally she knew my love for basketball, but at the same time, in our household, you know, she involved us in a lot of other things as well. So it actually did pretty good because it kept me hungry. Because as much as I love basketball, I wanted to play it. I couldn't do it like all the time when I was growing up because she had me involved in so many other things. So whenever I got a chance to play, I just went extra hard at it.
Okay, cool. I'm still tripping off this band geek stuff. I just synonymous with hooping.
Oh man,
Sousaphone.
I was getting it. I went to contests. I went to like state contests. I won medals. I was like really into band. The only reason I changed, if I had went to, that was when I was in Madison. When I went to Venice, of course, they didn't have band. So that was like my dream had kind of got shattered. But definitely, if I had kept going to Madison, I'd been basketball, probably played football, probably did baseball, band, soccer. I probably would have done everything.
And you know, I feel you because I had the opportunity when I was in high school to play in a well, to be part of a band. I didn't do it, but then after I got done with college, I found myself being in the band in regards as a drummer. I'm like, man, I wish I
Hmm.
would classes, you know, back then because I probably would have been, you know, miles more than what I am now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate music in all facets. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to you being able to do so many different instruments and everything. So like, can you still play right now, like some piano or whatever?
No, I never learned how to play piano. I actually used to be pretty good at probably up until maybe high school. I was pretty good at like reading music, for even different instruments and things like that. I can read the music pretty good and kind of put some things together, but I haven't done that in so long ago. I forgot all of it, at this point. But yeah, it's definitely was something that I really enjoyed. Of course, I love music. Like I said, I sung in a choir.
Oh, you got a singer in the house,
y'all. You got vocals
man.
too?
No, it's crazy, man. I grew up in I grew up in like a black church, man. Like,
yeah,
I had a Madea, and my mom was big in the church. My whole family used to go to church. Church for us was like a Sunday all day deal. But when I was younger, she used to make me sing in front of the church. I was probably one of like 30 cousins, and I used to be the only one that she used to make me do stuff like that and sing in front of the church and all of that. But but yeah, it was, it's like music has always been a big part of me, like kind of growing up.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Okay.
So how would you say, I know you brought up earlier how much your mom meant to you in regards to different things, but just overall, the influence that your parents had when it came to sports.
Oh man, mom was like, she was everything, kind of growing up. She was, of course, um, she was a drop off and a pickup. She was the biggest cheerleader. And she cheered for like whatever team I played on. She pretty much cheered for everybody. I used to get the reality checks, whenever I get selfish and I only thought about how well I was doing and if I won or lost. She used to always constantly tell me like those things didn't matter unless, everybody did well. So those are things I kind of took to heart, at a very young age. A lot of people don't get that. But yeah, mom was like pretty much the center of my universe, pretty much.
Okay. The biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter. So let me ask you this before my time is up here. When you transitioned to balling in high school and stuff, like, did you all travel? AAU basically is the big thing now. But back then, not saying you're old, but back then, was it around like it is now? And did you all travel? Did she support you and go on all these team trips and stuff?
Oh yeah, I actually I didn't start playing really organized AAU until my junior year. You know, before college was, in the back of my mind, I just loved to play, so I didn't really think about like playing basketball in college, but because of a lot of like my financial situation, a lot of kids like me, that would be the only way that I went to school. So I got a chance to play AAU with the St. Louis Eagles, that is now like Brad Bill Elite. Right. When I was a junior, it was probably the first year the club, first or second year the club was formed, but it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of opportunities as far as colleges recruiting me and things like that. So, and from there, of course, education, my mom, you couldn't be in a household if you weren't kind of thriving and trying to get an education as far as a college degree. She had invested so much in us as far as, her daily grind or whatever. But, basketball at that time, playing AU basketball, we would travel. I don't know how she did it, but, she made sure I had, whatever financial means I needed so I can travel and do some different things. So, yeah, that was kind of the first time that people started getting out on the road and traveling to different tournaments, but it wasn't as big, nowhere near as big as it is now. Back then, we just used to like hooping, with guys that we like to play with. Now it's become more of a business and people are kind of setting themselves up, and setting their future up out of it. So, AAU basketball is definitely like transitioning into something different now.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. So you one of the originals of the Eagles / Bradley Bill Elite. Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I coached with him for a good number of years too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, boy. I swear. Coach Clegg, in the short time I've been talking to you, this man done put us on game with being the pen geek, focus in the choir. look, a charter member of the Eagles.
Hey, I got a story, man. Just like everybody. Everybody
Exactly.
has a story. I got a story too.
And that was one of the main reasons why we do this show, so we can have those stories told. Everyone see what they see on TV and the whole nine,
Right.
but they don't see what took them to that point. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
progress, the journey, the hard work, the sacrifice, everything that you had to go through leading up to what you're doing right now. And that's what this show is all about.
Exactly.
So we definitely enjoy hearing this right now. Keep on going, buddy, before you got to go ahead and split.
No, right. My back is killing me too. Other question, and it slipped my mind because you said something with the Eagles, and sorry, I don't write my stuff down. I usually try to keep notes, but Coach Claggett, that's what it is. So I'm jumping the gun here, but what made you to go to coaching, especially at SLU High? Like you said, you used to coach at the Eagles.
Yeah.
And how did you get to SLU High?
Man, it's so crazy. Like when I was playing basketball, like coaching was the furthest thing from my mind. Honestly, I was playing in Europe, and then I came back and was like helping my high school out over at Venice High School. And my high school coach, Coach Clint Harris, God rest his soul, he's passed away now. But I was helping him out. The next year, he retired, and the kids didn't have a coach. So I coached 1 year. I didn't go back and play. I worked at the school and I coached. And then that following year, I had a friend of mine that had relationships with McClure High School, and that's kind of how I got over there. So I coached McClure High School for 10 years, and I taught at McClure as well. And then I don't know, I really liked the place that I was in. St. Louis U High was, as I got into coaching and I really liked it, it was kind of always in the back of my mind. I didn't know much about the school, but I knew enough. And the opportunity came, and I applied for it. And it's been pretty much the best thing that, one of the best moves that I've made in my life. Not only, and like I said, McClure High School is a special place. I had a lot of great people and great kids that I was around. Now, it's so funny now. I see a lot of them are adults and they all doing well. And, and that was a lot of fun too. It just, as you get older, your circle kind of expands and mine expanded. And I took a leap and I came over here and, it's worked out the same as it did when I was at McClure. So definitely going to McClure was a great decision of mine. And then going to St. Louis U High 10 years later was a great decision as well.
Okay. Wait, you've been at SLU High 10 years?
I've been here 10 years. Yes. Yes. I know, right? I know, right?
Ain't don't been that long. Okay.
Yeah,
McClure 10, SLU 10. Okay.
Yep. I've been McClure 10, SLU 10. SLU High folks, I've been here 10. That don't mean I'm leaving because I'm at 10, just so you know. I'm good.
Okay.
No fear.
Yeah, right.
For the record. Look,
yeah, for the
record. Don't notice now. Look, here. Just let you know.
On 10/27/2021, around 8:02, Coach Claggett said he ain't going nowhere on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Got it.
There you go. First. There you go. Unless somebody drop a bag, unless they drop a bag off at my house now. I don't know about that.
That's that money talk.
Back up that the good old Brinks truck.
There you go. There you go. No, it's a, as you know, and Sergio will tell you too. It's a SLU High it's a different place. It's unique. I felt so needed when I was at McClure. That was something that I kind of that I was a little fearful about, because I felt like I was really making a difference where I was at when I was at McClure High School, because that so many kids need to see like positive role models and people that actually care about them as people. And I made inroads in that, and the kids, they knew I cared, and the kids, they cared about me as well. So it was a really good relationship. So that was something that I didn't think I would get when I came to St. Louis U High, because of It's a different, we all have to admit, it's a different financial situation with a lot of the kids, private school, all boys, a different kind of clientele. But it was early on, I kind of figured, and felt the same need, it was just a different need, in a lot of ways. So in that is gratifying that, I can be a part of some kids' lives and help them in their growth and development. The same way I did at McClure. And that was something that I didn't think I would happen when I first left. And it's something definitely that happened that I'm kind of grateful for.
All right. Well, thank you. Look, thank you for letting me take up so few minutes of your time here tonight, sir.
All righty.
Excuse me. Smooth. Of course, you would take over as you do always. Oh, I'm sorry. My back is killing me. Oh,
Hey,
I'm about to call it a night.
That being said, earlier, for those who missed it, this is Bunny's last show for possibly 2022. We'll see if anything changes, but she is about to go ahead and sign off for the last time this year. And we wish you, Bunny, nothing but blessings as you bring in part 2 very soon. A Scorpio baby. Here we go.
We shall see. I don't have any control over it, so we shall see.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. And hopefully I can attend the game next year sometime.
Hope so.
That's what I was saying. I'm gonna miss those in games because Coach Goodwin, she have a shine and it's games. I'm like, I'm gonna have to miss some good stuff, but I'll be back.
Man, he was the best doing the TV too. I don't know if you ever seen him on doing a prep cast when he was here.
I haven't.
Oh man, Sergio was Sergio was on it. He was good. He was really good.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna take credit for that, but
all
again,
right.
I talk sports with him. Now I give him credit. He taught me something, which is soccer. I didn't know too much about it. He taught me that, and now that we got the St. Louis SC Club coming, I'm ready to get my knowledge and take notes so I can be versatile and talk about them too. I got to market myself. Somebody may want to pick me up.
Well, we got one of the best soccer teams in St. Louis in the whole Midwest here at St. Louis U High.
Exactly.
Yes, y'all are known for soccer.
Yeah. My man, Coach Akano, is doing his thing over here. The SLU boys soccer program is really good this year. I think they were even ranked in the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, shout
out to Bobby O, my guy Bobby O, who's the soccer coach here.
Okay. And what about your football coach? He still there?
Yeah, Coach Jones still here.
They're
having a good year. We got a big football game on Friday against Lindbergh. So we got to go handle that business so we can get to the championship game and see what we can do against CBC.
He's done phenomenal things in a short time. Coach Jones used to be at Lincoln, my alma mater, Lincoln University, but that was after I graduated. But still,
yeah. Mike, that's my guy. Mike's doing a real good job with the boys over here.
He turned that program around. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was been fun, you all. Thank you so much. I'll be tuning in if I can, but y'all know me. When you have a baby, then you be up in the middle of the night, everybody else sleep. So I'm gonna be missing out. I gotta catch highlights at 2 a.m, but whatever.
Enjoy.
You take care. Okay?
All right, y'all.
All right, dude.
Keep the content. All right, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, and we have special guest. Tell me your name.
Yep, it's me, Erwin Claggett. Coach Clag, Erwin Claggett, Clag, Menace, whatever, however you want it.
So, once again, make sure y'all go ahead and share this stream right now. Hit that like button. Let everybody know we have an incredible guest here, a legend on the show, as DJ Khaled love to say, another one. Bring them comments, bring them questions.
That's right.
Let's continue to get into this man's story. So I want to take it back real quick. As you was a youngster, you brought up in regards to you watching Magic Johnson and that era. Who was that person that you pretty much skilled your game after as you was coming up in the ranks?
Oh man. Whew. So when I was growing up, I was of course we all were Michael Jordan fans in high school. When I was growing up, I was a big Philadelphia 76er fan. The guy that I used to like, of course, Dr. J was the man, but Andrew Toney Andrew Toney was a 2 guard at Philadelphia 76ers, man, and he was like a Celtic killer at the time, and a Laker killer. That was one of my favorite teams, man, with Mo Cheeks, Andrew Toney, Moses Malone. Yeah, that team was like stupid good. But that was one person that I used to watch kind of growing up. And of course, as I got to high school, one of my favorite all-time teams and kind of favorite all-time players, of course, was the UNLV Running Rebels with Larry Johnson and Anderson Hunt, Greg Anthony, all of those guys. And I kind of patterned a lot of what I did after Anderson Hunt, kind of growing up. So, but, back in those days, and that was the thing, we watched basketball and we go out and we would kind of mimic the guys that we saw. And that was kind of a lot of the ways that we learned how to play. And then I was really fortunate where I grew up at that it was some really good basketball in my area, from guys that I grew up. So I grew up looking at a lot of pros, but at the same time, I had guys in my neighborhood that were pretty much, to me, just like NBA players, So we should go out and we should kind of mimic those guys as well. Because they like I said, it was a lot of talent in the Venice, Madison, and Lovejoy area. So it was a little bit of mixture of everything, man. And that's what you did back then. You watch everybody and you just take a little bit from anybody that you saw that can help your game.
Yeah, because that was gonna be my next question was there someone in particular locally that you learned the game of basketball from?
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody in my neighborhood is one guy that was like I thought this guy was like the Michael Jordan of it was him. It wasn't even Michael Jordan at the time when I was growing up. We had a guy by the name in my neighborhood named Joe Black. His name was Patrick Hatter. My older brothers were really good basketball players as well. They were kind of local legends, and they played with Joe Black. They were all good friends, and I was 12, 13 years behind those guys. So I was real young watching them do their thing. So he was definitely one that we kind of looked up to, and we used to watch, try to walk like them, try to talk like them, try to hoop like them, and that's what you did. Anybody that was good, you wanted to be them, at that time on the court. And I wasn't the only one. There was a lot of kids in the neighborhood kind of did the same thing. So definitely local guys like that, we kind of took an eye to. It was so many I could think of. Of course, like I said, my brothers, I can think of Joe Black, Morris Hughes, guys in my neighborhood. Disco Watts played at K-State, Kenny Stanley. I mean, I'm probably going to get in trouble because I'm forgetting a lot of people, but it was a lot in my neighborhood that were really good.
So now you're getting into high school. Once again, you said you went to Madison first, then Venice. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to Madison. My whole entire family went to Madison. My mom graduated from Madison High School. And like I said, we moved to Venice, and they found out we moved, and they made me go to Venice High School as we moved. And I hated it. When they told me, I cried for days. Mom told me everything was going to be all right, and she wasn't lying to me. All the people in Venice I was already growing up with anyway. We were all good friends, and just now I was at high school with them.
Uh-oh. Lights out?
No, it's just I'm in my office, so whenever you stop moving, the sensor cuts the lights off.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So how would you describe, outside of you moving from one school to another, how would you describe your high school career?
Man, I had a great high school career for the fact of course, I scored a lot of points and I won a lot of games, but it was good emotionally because I actually played with a lot of guys that I grew up with, and we had a genuine love for each other. You know what I mean? Like we really, really like rock with each other. I grew up with guys that we shared the same clothes. We ate at each other's house. We spent the night over each other house. So it was more so you were just kind of playing with your friends, So despite all the wins and the points scored and all of those things, the things that I kind of treasure most is the relationships, because to this day, I still have those relationships, with a lot of those guys, that are still around. And of course, with life, we lose some, and that's always tough when you lose some. My best friend, growing up, I lost him about, God, man, it don't even seem like that long ago, probably about 12 or 13 years ago. And it been some other ones that passed, and some that went down the wrong path and chose a different way, and, end up doing some other things. So, you kind of go through things like that, but definitely those relationships are the things that kind of form pretty much who I am, and I feel lucky to have those. I could have been in a situation that was financially better and in a better like school situation, and had the best this and the best that. But I think the things that I had, that I grew up with, and the people that I grew up with, equipped me for pretty much anything that I was going to kind of encounter in life. So I'm really grateful for that.
And outside of basketball, were there any other sports that you played while in high school?
No, it's funny. My freshman year, I used to be a pitcher. So I pitched my freshman year. Like I said, I played baseball from T-ball all the way up through high school, like Corey League and whatnot. So when I was a freshman, I was a starting pitcher on a varsity baseball team. So I remember playing, God, who did we play? I think it was Assumption High School in East St. Louis. And coach put me in as a starter, started me that game. And I probably could throw the ball no more than 50, 60 miles an hour at the time, but I thought I was like hot stuff. And
Reality check came.
I remember, God, this light is killing me. But I remember this guy coming to the plate, and I was looking at him, and I'm like, man, this dude is huge. And man, I pitched that ball. He probably hit that ball so far, I probably didn't even see it. He knocked the cover off of it. Right then and there, I knew that was it. That was my last game I pitched. I married basketball wholeheartedly. Started playing and training in the spring, because I never really did that because I was playing baseball. But that was pretty much it. My last year of playing baseball, and I still like baseball, like, as with all sports. But yeah, definitely that was something that I'll never forget. That guy knocked my ball out of the park, and then talk crap to me all the way around the bases.
Right, I bet he did too. He probably like, man, you playing softball right now.
Right. I thought I was going to like sail a 60-mile-per-hour fastball by him. He caught that, and yeah, it was over. Yeah, it was over.
I'm pretty sure to him it was like a beach ball.
Right, exactly. This dude has so many muscles. I'll never forget. I looked at him. I'm like, man, this dude got muscles like in his neck, popping out his. He had to be a football player, but he was playing baseball. Like, it was crazy.
I don't know. He could have had that Barry Bonds juice.
Yeah, he could have back then, right? But they call him country strong. This dude was country strong.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It was like my old teammates from back in the day used to be like, they some country Fred guys out there, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, guys, you can imagine me. I'm like, at the time as a freshman, I'm like 5'9", 120 pounds, soaking wet.
I was say the same thing.
Oh man, I'm looking at this dude come up. They all seniors. I'm the only freshman on the team. They like, come on. I'm like, what in the world? Man, he rocked my ball. I was like, all right, that's it, y'all. Y'all gotta find you another pitcher. I'm going to hoop.
He said, I'm done. So when you transition, as you said, you got right into basketball, you married the game. Who was influential high school wise that got you to the level of you getting noticed and started getting recruited?
Man, you know what? I didn't play. I was brought up to varsity. I played JV as a freshman. And at my high school, even though my high school was only like 120 kids in the entire high school, it was a powerhouse. Yeah, so in Illinois, you only had two classes. You had Class A and you had Class AA. Because we were pretty much an all-black high school, a lot of white Class A schools wouldn't play us at the time. So we had to play all AA schools like Lincoln, East St. Louis, Collinsville, like places and teams like that, right? And you always had to play them on the road, So when I was coming up, that was one of the things that, we kind of had to fight against. So everybody on my high school team and everybody in my neighborhood was good. So it was really hard to make the team. So I didn't even play varsity as a freshman, so I didn't play. And then they brought me up at the end of the year. My freshman year, I played like in the districts and what we call regional. And then my sophomore, junior year, I played varsity, and I was one of the better players on varsity. As far as like any individual person, I couldn't really like name one. The thing that kind of opened me up when I made the St. Louis Eagles, and I kind of did that on a humbug. I used to hoop. They had trials. I went over and hoop, and I killed it. And they were like, "Hey, we want you to be on a part of the team." I was the only Illinois guy on a team full of St. Louis guys. Now, just so you know, there was a rivalry between St. Louis and Illinois, right? So that dynamic at that time didn't really mesh like it did now. Like kids now, if you're from Illinois, Missouri, it don't really matter. Back in those days, if you were from Illinois, that's all you rock with was Illinois, So at the time, I kind of didn't play with some of my neighborhood kids, and I went over to St. Louis. I took a leap of faith. I had basically no schools recruited me. I went to an AAU tournament. Back then, you just go to AAU Nationals. So I'll never forget, we played AAU Nationals with the St. Louis Eagles. And a guy by the name of Rich Gray, who was the founder of the Eagles, he was the coach of the St. Louis Eagles. So he gave me the opportunity, along with Mr. G, Ron Golden, and those guys gave me the opportunity, man. And I played ball with the St. Louis Eagles and went on an AAU tournament. And I got a chance to play and never heard of. I got a chance to play against Big Dog Glenn Robinson, Jalen Rose, Rashawn Leonard, Chris Webber, all of these like big time guys that are pretty much like Hall of Famers now, a lot of them. From Donald Williams that played at Carolina. All of us was in that same class. 91, shout out to 91, class of 91, one of the best classes ever as far as basketball across the country. You can go Google it. It can be debated, but definitely one of the top classes, rival like Michael Jordan class and Charles Barkley class. But yeah, man, that was my first introduction, playing in front of all of those people against that kind of talent. And I shine, man. I played well, and I was always ready for that moment. I just needed an opportunity. And, once they let me have an opportunity, man, I kicked the doors down. By the time I got home, my mom was like, "What in the world is going on? My phone is blowing up. Like, what have you done?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "It's like 40 schools that been calling. They've been calling like around the clock. Everybody wants you to come to their school." So she got tired of it. She had no idea what was happening. So she kept getting all these phone calls all the night. And she was like, "Look, you got to narrow this thing down and get this over with." So that was definitely one thing that I kind of remember, going from pretty much nothing to something as far as my recruitment. There you go. Yeah. So, and then as I narrowed it down, I had a childhood friend that's like my big brother, Dale Turner. He played in Northern Iowa. Johnny Orr was my high school coach at Iowa State. St. Louis U, because of Coach Winfield and Coach Garrard. Coach Winfield was really an integral part of me, of my recruiting at SLU. He and myself and Julian Winfield were AAU teammates with the Eagles. So that relationship and that bond had already started to form. And then Scott Highmark, my other brother, he was also one that I played AAU ball with the St. Louis Eagles. So we already had that relationship. So we just talked about it, man. And before you know it, I had Colorado and I had Wake Forest. That was my last 5. And I chose St. Louis U. Of course, it was a new conference. Coach Wynn was a big part of why I went to St. Louis U. I ain't gonna lie. If Coach Wynn had been at St. Louis U, God rest his soul. I love my man, Coach Wynn. I miss him. But if Coach Wynn wasn't at SLU, I probably wouldn't have went to St. Louis U. That was one of the biggest reasons that I went, and one of the biggest reasons that I didn't leave after my freshman year. So, and it was perfect, man. It was a good league, new. They were doing some big things down there. Coach Grar was getting the program headed in the right direction. And my mom can watch me play every home game. And that meant the most to me out of everything. The fact that she can go right across the river, 10 minutes from my house, and see her baby boy run up and down the court. So that meant the world to me more than anything.
Miss Williams says, what a great story right there. Yeah, I definitely agree. So
appreciate it.
So pretty much Rich Grower was the head coach when you went to SLU, and then here comes Charlie Spoonhour. So when you found Charlie Spoonhour coming in, what was your, like, I'm sure you probably heard maybe about him, but what was your take? I know you said, you know, previous people were the main reason why you stayed at SLU, but what was it about Charlie Spoonhour that made you say, you know what, man, he has here?
We played, so Coach Spoon was at Southwest Missouri State. They didn't recruit me out of high school, by the way. But Coach Spoon, we had played against them. They were really like defense-oriented team. They didn't have a lot of good offensive players, but they were tough as nails. They hit you in the mouth and they guard you, man, all the way to the restroom. Like, you couldn't even get a pass. You couldn't throw the ball from the point guard to the wing against Southwest Missouri State. That's kind of what he was known for, his defense. He was a great coach. I was a little upset after towards my end of my freshman year when they did finally let Coach Grar go. They let the whole staff go, and they didn't allow my man to even get an interview, Coach Winfield. And that was one thing. Sorry, this light keep going out. No, all right, that was one thing that I didn't really like. You know, I thought he should have at least had a chance for an interview. So I was up, you know, and honestly, and, you know, Coach Wynn talked to me. He kind of told me like the benefits of staying. He was real big about it because he could have been bitter about it and he could have influenced me another way. But it just showed me how much he cared about me, that he kind of convinced me to stay and talked about all the benefits. Even though he was getting let go, he still told me how good of an opportunity it was for me to stay. So I thought that meant a lot because I trusted him a great deal. And Coach Spoon came in and he said the magic words. He was like, I know I'm known for defense, this, and that, but I know you can score it, you can shoot it at any given time. Whenever you get your feet set, you can let it go. You know, and Mr. Golden, Coach Golden, he had he already had ties because he went to Southwest Missouri State. He was one of the first black track athletes that were All-American at Southwest Missouri State. He gave me some tapes on my man named Winston Garland that played for Coach Spoon, and I watched Winston shoot the ball every single time. So I was like, I can do that. So that was one of the things, another thing that kind of convinced me to stay. And it was the best decision in the world. Coach Grar, I think, didn't get enough credit. I thought he was a great coach. He kind of got a raw deal at the same time when he was here. So that kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth as well. But I think Coach Spoon was perfect for me. I learned a lot under him as far as, you know, just how to manage athletes and how to be with your players and how to coach them and love them and be hard on them. I learned a great deal from Coach Spoon. So I was really grateful. It was kind of a perfect situation. So I owe everything to Coach Wynn for basically getting me to SLU and then basically convincing me to stay, you know, and not leave. You know, that man did a lot for me.
So, two-part question. Do you feel that SLU was a destination school at all when you first arrived there? And then after you started having some success under Coach Spoonhour, do you feel that your team or that area that you played in started that movement of SLU being more recognized and being more of a destination school?
Yeah, man. My freshman year at SLU, We won 5 games. We went 5-23. We had 15 players, and by the end of the year, we had 6. We would actually have to go to, we would have to go to the rec room, West Pine Rec, to kind of recruit guys off the intramural teams to come in and practice with us, just so we can go 5-on-5. That's where the program was,
Wow.
So I can remember watching and looking up in the stands, man, and it being like 300 or 400 people, in the stands. And we played at the arena then. So,
Right.
the arena holds like 20,000 people.
Right.
So imagine like 300 fans in a 20,000 seat arena. You can almost hear a pin drop, right? So right, that was my freshman year. So my sophomore year, Spoon came in, things started to turn. We were a lot more competitive, but we were still young pups. Mostly all of our team was sophomores at the time, but we were getting a lot better, and you can kind of feel something was brewing. And then my junior year, when Spoon came in, he brought in probably about 5 or 6 JUCO guys. And to this day, these guys that he brought in, like these are my brothers. Like I actually just had dinner with one of them just now. He's in town from New Jersey. But these guys came in, man, and it was like a perfect blend. I don't think he probably envisioned that it was going to work out the way it did, but it did. And I was there from 300, and I can remember we started off the season my junior year. We were 10-0, and we played, I believe it was Carbondale, and we played them at the arena, and I come out, and it's 20,000 people in the arena.
Woo.
So from then, we start to see in the stands, you starting to see the mayor, you start to see professional hockey players and all these different, like even celebrities, you start like, man, look at, did you know who such and such was at the game? You looking in the stands as us looking like, wow. So we kind of had an idea that we had something real special going on. And we were a hot thing, man. You walk around town and people recognize who we were. So that kind of fueled us as we became like a representation of the city, man. And a lot of kids coming up under us, we wanted to put on for them, So that was pretty much the one thing we wanted to represent, because we didn't want to be a thing where we have our success and then we leave and it start over. We wanted to kind of be of a piece for kids coming up to say, man, going to St. Louis U was cool. I remember when they used to come on Channel 11 at the old Kill, and you up late at night and it looked like hardly anybody was in the arena. And by the time I was a senior, we playing on ESPN, and we playing in front of 20,000 people every game. So I was like, man, this is where it's at. So kids started kind of taking a liking to it, and it kind of took off from there. So it's still going. We had a couple of lows here and there, but I think that time period, man, it really kind of set the foundation for a lot of things and success that we're having now. You see, is now we have a lot of local players on the team. Exactly. And they're having an incredible amount of success, and the team is having an incredible amount of success. Shout out to my guys down at SLU, the coaching staff, Coach Ford, my brother, Corey Tate. That's my dude. That's my heart, man. That's my brother. Blood will make us no thicker. But all of the guys that are down there, man, they've done a phenomenal job, man, getting that program to where it is. So I'm excited about St. Louis U basketball.
And I'm looking here at some of these stats from 1993 to 94 season. Y'all was 23-6. Y'all went to the NCAA tournament as a number 7 seed, and y'all faced off against Maryland. So tell me that feeling of being of waiting to hear your team being announced to go to the big dance, and then that moment after you heard y'all name.
Oh man, it meant so much. And you think about guys like the Dukes and the Carolinas and all these other teams that, to them it's kind of monotonous. They hear it all the time. Tournament time come, all they worried about is where they're gonna be seated, right? What number 1 seed, which region? We came from 5-23, the core of our team, to now waiting to be announced to play in a tournament that we had never thought about at that time that would happen. In the back of our mind, of course, we wanted it to happen. But our junior year, man, we finished up the season. I didn't even think we would finish the rank. I thought they kind of probably seeded us too low. But but still, man, I can remember sitting down around my junior year, and just kind of taking it all in. Like, man, this is like 300 people in the stands to now going to the NCAA tournament. I think it was like winning an NCAA championship. Because I thought we gave a city something something real, something that they can touch. We were accessible, at the time in the community. A lot of guys did a lot of work around the community with younger kids and different schools and things like that. So I thought even that, man, that was a big moment because I at the time I knew, man, we were giving a lot of kids and a lot of people hope. And not only in St. Louis, man, but my hometown, that was, we all have a story, and I love my hometown, but I felt a need to be something positive for kids in my Venice, Madison, Lovejoy, East St. Louis area, man, that they can look up to it one day, hopefully that they can do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, you always hear about people going off to college to hoop. When I was growing up, they went off here, they went there, and then you didn't hear about them no more, right? So I was one of the stories that people can kind of go look and be like, oh, he from here. That's where he is right now. I can watch him. I can see him. I can have some sort of relationship with him. You know what I mean? So I thought that meant a lot.
And tell us about Charlie Spoonhour, just a man.
Man, intense. Coach Spoon was a teacher. The one thing I liked about his coaching style and his coaching philosophy, he kept things real simple. He wasn't a big guy that liked to sit around and he talk on the court. He had an idea on basically how he wanted his teams to play, and that's what he focused on. So it wasn't always about, you got a lot of coaches now that look at what the other team is doing. This is what we're going to do to take away from them. We're going to do this. With Coach Spoon, it was like, look, this is the way we're going to play. This is the way we're going to defend this. This is the way we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do offensively. And that's all he taught, and it was good enough because no matter who we played against, it worked, and the one thing I liked about Coach Spoon, whenever you had a bad game, you could see him the next day in the hallway and he'd speak to you and you can have a conversation with him and that game would never come up. So he was real big on like moving on to the next thing. So, you get some coaches, man, you have a bad game or you kind of fall short, some coaches kind of get in their feelings. They approach you a different way. You can play like crap and you can look like crap on the film. But with Coach Spoon, once it was over, it was over. It was move on to the next thing. This is what we got to do to get better. So that's one thing that I kind of took out of his coaching style that I kind of use even to this day. As much as he liked to win, it was more important to him about how his teams played. And he thought if he did that, then the wins were going to take care of itself. So that's one thing that I learned from him.
So you brought up earlier about playing in the big tournament. But just in regards to away games, what would you say was your favorite away game venue that you just love playing in?
Oh man, that's kind of easy. I give you my favorite and I give you my least favorite. All right. So I'm gonna give my least favorite was the place Alabama Birmingham. Right, so Alabama Birmingham, school colors were green and yellow. My Madison people, I love you. Madison was our rival. Venice was red and white. Madison was green and white. So that was our rival school. And I said, my mom and everybody in my family went to Madison. To this day, I don't even own anything green in my closet. Right, that's how deep it is. But whenever I played UAB, man, it was like kryptonite, man. It'd be green and white and yellow everywhere. And I just hated the arena. I had horrible games at UAB. And all the times that I played there, the teams that I played on, man, we got the crap beat out of us whenever we went down to Alabama, Birmingham. We can be, even at times we were good my junior and senior year. When we went to UAB, man, it was a struggle. And they can be horrible. They can not be very good, but whenever we played them, it was hard getting a W out of there, So that was definitely one of the arenas. And it's crazy, you know, a lot of athletes probably can attest to that. Whenever you come across certain places, man, they just hard to play in. You know, and definitely that was like my kryptonite. And I think it kind of go all the way back to, you know, to my Madison Venice days, you know, and our rival. I love Madison, man, but that was a rival that I really look forward to. It was a lot of fun, man. But yeah, that UAB, man, that was tough. That was tough. My favorite arena was probably the Pyramid,
Memphis, right?
down in Memphis.
Yeah.
So I think the Pyramid now is like some kind of pro bass fishing place. But
Yeah, yes.
when the Pyramid opened up, I think Penny Hardaway he might have been like a red shirt freshman at the time. That's when they had the Prop 48. And he came back, and I remember my freshman year walking in the gym, and I look at all these signs, and people were throwing pennies on the floor.
Whoa.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, they firing pennies at us. And I'm looking up the signs. They talking about pennies, $1 million man, and this, and that. Oh, my God. First play of the game, he got a steal, and it seemed like he jumped to the moon and dunked. I thought he was going to tear the whole apparatus down. And that was my introduction of Penny and the Pyramid, you know. And I had a lot of, after my freshman year, though, my sophomore, junior, senior year, I had some really, really good games. Some of my best games came in the Pyramid against Memphis State. Even when Penny was there, we had a big shootout, me and him, when I came to Memphis. So that was a lot of fun too.
How incredible is it to look back now and realize that you played against this guy, you played against that guy, like you said, the Glenn Robinsons, the whole 9 people who are in the Hall of Fame. How does it feel personally that you was on the same floor and you was holding your own against these guys?
Man, it was like I said, at that time, man, you competing. You know how good those guys are. You know how great they are. But at the same time, I had so much confidence in myself and the guys that I was playing with that you know, that challenge, man. You know, people talking about them. I want to play them. I always had that attitude. You know, even now as a coach, you know, as a coach, anybody tell you, as a coach of St. Louis U High, when it comes to scheduling, man, if somebody say they good and they want to play us, I don't shy away from it. I'm like, let's do it. I don't care what kind of team or who said we supposed to be what. If we do what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to win the game. You know, and that's always been my mentality. So, like I said, I played against Big Dog and Jalen Rose and Chris Webber, all these guys. When I went to the tournament, we played against Joe Smith, who's the #1 player coming out that year. He got drafted #1 overall, and he was a freshman. He was phenomenal. You know, I played against the best power forward to ever play the game, Tim Duncan. You know, at Wake Forest in the second round of the NCAA tournament my senior year. And we were supposed to beat them guys. Like, we led the whole game and we lost at the end, and we shot it horrible that game. I can't even watch that game even to this day, any highlights. But yeah, man, when you're a competitor and you playing against them guys, like, you in your element, you know. And at that time, I was in my element, man. I thought my guys and myself were just as good. So it was like, come on, let's go.
Let's get it. So, brought up favorite place to play, playing against incredible guys while you were in college. So now, playing professionally, was there any chance of you going to the league? Did you have any aspirations of making to the NBA?
Oh yeah. I had some choices to make my junior year. I had a chance to come out early. Like I said, I think statistically, I was like 13 with honorable mention All-American, AP All-American. Our team was kind of raked in the country. It was kind of ripe for me to come out. But at the same time, I didn't feel mature wise, I was probably ready. Definitely physically, I wasn't ready to go play against grown men at the time. And then I really liked the situation that I was in, and I hadn't graduated. That was something that I promised my mom that I would do, that I would graduate, you know. And luckily, my mom didn't ever put any pressure on me. You know, you got to come out and you got to come take care of your family. And that conversation never happened, you know. So I never had that pressure to kind of go out and try and put myself at any kind of, you know, in any kind of jeopardy or whatever. So I decided to stay. And it was the best decision that, you know, some people can disagree with it, but for me, it was the best decision in the world to stay another year. And I think when I came out, it was some collective bargaining things happening in the NBA. It shut down for a while. I played in some pro camps. I did pretty good. I didn't get drafted like I like everybody probably thought I was going to draft it, even myself, which actually worked out because I had some NBA teams that I knew I had a good chance of making. But the league shut down a while. I left and I went overseas and I played, and that was pretty much it. You know, so if things were a little bit different how they are now, I would have a lot more opportunities. You know, back then when, you know, you played, if you didn't stay in the States and you went overseas, it was kind of hard to get back and kind of try your shot at trying to get in the league. Some guys did it in some certain situations, but a lot of guys, once they went over Europe, that was it. Nowadays, guys go over to Europe and they always have access to G League and different things like that, and they can come back and kind of make the league. So it definitely wasn't had anything to do with my skill level or anything like that. I think, you know, with the league, man, it's all about opportunity, and they got to have a lot of luck involved as well. You know, being in the right situation, knowing the right people, having the right connects, you know, and that's kind of how that world works in a lot of ways for a lot of players like myself. Some players, it's a no-brainer, but a lot of players like myself, you know, some things kind of got to be aligned with it. Definitely, I was never bitter about not making it. I knew I could play in the league. I knew I was good enough to play in the league. A lot of guys in the league were having success with guys that I had a lot of success against, and they knew it. And we still talk about it to this day. You know, some guys that still know me from when I played in college that played in the NBA. You know, game recognized game in a lot of ways. So, you know, they know it as well. But I think everything happens for a reason. I had a good career overseas. You know, I played 1 year here, semi-pro here, and then I got into high school coaching. And, you know, honestly, I don't have any regrets with anything, the way anything went down.
How much of a culture shock was it playing overseas compared to playing here in the States?
Oh man, that was it. You just said it. Basketball is basketball. You know, of course, you know, it's some things you got to make some adjustments to, but it's still, you know, it's still a basketball. It's still a goal. You still got 5-on-5. So those things can manage, but definitely the culture shock, the language barrier, the food barrier. It's a business, you know, at that time, like you are, you know, like, I remember the famous Jay-Z lyric. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. You
Man,
know what I
right.
mean? So you are the business. You know what I mean? Like your body, your game, your mental, you are the business. You know what I mean? So that was one of the things that I really had to kind of adjust to, you know, as during those time periods.
Nice. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I have been enjoying myself. I am your boy Smoooth, and we have special guests. You up? Tell me your name.
What's up? What's up? Again, Erwin Claggett, Coach Claggett.
There we go.
The Venice Menace.
We getting there, y'all. We getting it. But this has been so far an incredible show. We hope that you are enjoying this interview. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, stories, whatever, go ahead and type it in. We'll have your comments shown on the screen. Let's keep on showing this man some love. Keep on sharing this post. We have a few more questions to go over. Or I have a few more questions to ask him, and then maybe we'll go ahead and let him go. But once again, Claire, thank you very much for your time. I definitely have enjoyed this interview. Definitely another highlight to the Platform Sports Talk Show.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate, you know, taking me. It's always fun, man, to talk about a lot of these things, man, and go back down memory lane and kind of share, you know, share some stories. It definitely, you know, is a joy. Talking about the past and just kind of reliving a lot of those moments because, you know, good and bad, they are part of you, you know, and it's always good to kind of talk about those things and, you know, and kind of remember them.
Exactly. So, coaching, as you brought up earlier when Bunny asked about your coaching and why you started it, who were some people that you maybe studied on when you got into coaching?
Oh man. Oh, as coaches, man, you steal from everybody. Like I said, I stole a lot of stuff from Coach Spoon. When I got into coaching, I look at, guys like Tom Izzo. I steal some stuff from Tom Izzo, from Bill Self to now you're looking at, even nowadays, like I look at different stuff. I look at Coach Ford down at St. Louis U. I look at my brother up in Mizzou, Conzo Martin. Steal some stuff from him. So that's really all it's about. And I can say steal because it's really about enhancing.
Right.
You look at some other things and the way people are maybe developing their kids and developing their program, and you apply that to your own program and to your own kids if it can help them, and definitely anything that I do, even in high school, I go out and I look at high school games and I look at different things that high school coaches do, and I look the way they interact with their kids. I look at some of the stuff that they run, and we have some really like phenomenal high school coaches in our area as well. That's in it for the right reasons. So that's all basketball is, man. As a basketball coach, man, you just kind of going around and you taking a little bit from everybody, man, and you kind of throwing it in a pot and seeing, what's going to help you in your development as a coach and what's going to help you in your development help you develop your players, and I think if you continue to do that, that's one thing that kind of shows the love. Just like with anything, man, you got to always continue to strive to try to be better and better every year, and that's something I kind of pride myself on. Every year you have to reflect on what went good, what went bad. You can learn from, um, I have no agendas. On my only agenda is trying to help.
Oh, so like your signal was kind of going in and out. You said your only agenda was what again? Look, Clag, for some reason your mic is off. Can't hear you anymore. No, still can't hear you. Let's see. Sorry, everyone. We're gonna work on his audio. Make sure y'all can hear him. Try it now.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep, now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying, as a coach, I think my number one responsibility is just helping kids become better people. And if you help them become better people, of course, they're going to be better players. So.
No doubt. So as a coach, up and coming coach, from the time you were at McClure North to
McClure. No. McClure.
I'm sorry, McClure. My bad. McClure. Don't type it down, McClure. All them other ones, McClure. And going to SLU High. Have you experienced that moment where you felt like you finally made it? You know what I'm saying? From everything that you've been working hard to get to, that you finally made it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I experienced it probably more when I experienced it at the time when I watched my kids and I watched some of the things that we talk about and I watch the way they interact with each other. When I see them love each other and I see them actually care for each other just as people, not just as teammates, and then definitely when they leave and they always come back, and they say and tell me that, it's something that happened in the program or in their time that they was with me that has helped them later on in life. Those are my aha moments. Those are the moments that I treasure more than the last second wins, the district championship, whatever the case may be. Those are the things that matter the most to me. If when they tell me like something that we've done or some conversation that we've had or people they've been around while they were there has helped them while they were there, and then when they left has helped them become better young men, man, that means the world to me.
Man, that's awesome to hear, man. And and being an influence. And as Miss Williams had earlier in the comments, kids need role models and they need them where they can see them in person.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Yep. So that's very, very crucial. So, how does it feel from playing at SLU basketball wise to now being a coach at SLU High? Because was SLU High even existing when you played at SLU?
Oh, definitely. St. Louis, you have been here since has been here since the 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah, so the school has been here. But like I said, I've always noticed and known it was here. It wasn't anything like that was in the back of my mind that kind of pushed me here. It was just something that actually happened, and it fit. When things fit. Like when I was at McClure High School, it fit. The thing I was wondering about when I got here, would it fit? And early on, I understood that it's a fit. Yeah, man, it's really no difference. I think coaching high school, man, and coaching basketball, coaching high school and coaching college. Of course, in college, you got a lot more responsibilities. Everything is performance based, naturally so, because so much money is involved. Coaches make a lot of money nowadays, and they have a lot of responsibilities with the money that they make. So it's performance based. If the kids are not performing and you're not winning games, you're probably gonna get fired. That's just the lay of the land. So in that it's a little bit different. But the basketball wise and the way you managing kids and the way you teaching them to become better people and better players, man, that's seamless. Whether you're talking about high school, college, or pro.
Mm. So, what should people be expecting from your high school team this upcoming season?
Man, you know what? The one thing I'm hoping, I think we're gonna be pretty good. We have some really talented kids here. I've been kind of grooming them for about 3 years. But the one thing I'm really looking forward to is the fact that they seem like they like playing with each other.
Mm.
They love to see each other's success. So more so than how many shots they make or who's gotten better at handling the ball or whatever the case may be, I'm more excited about just watching them play with each other, because that was one of the joys that I had in the game of basketball when I played. It wasn't about the game itself. A lot of it was about the people that I played the game with. Those are people that I had a general affection for and a general love for, and I kind of get the same sense of that from the kids that I'm coaching this year. So I'm eager and excited about seeing that joy come out to fruition on the court.
And how much have you had to adjust with COVID from the start of COVID to now?
Man, I could write a book on the things that we had to do last year. Last year we played about 14 games. I was happy and the kids were happy for the opportunity, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle mentally. It was a struggle physically. God willing, we didn't get anybody sick. We didn't have any outbreaks the whole year. The kids had to play in masks. They had to practice in masks. We were limited in our ability to kind of congregate. We had testing at the same time. So days we tested, we couldn't really practice. So they would kind of be separated until results came back. And a lot of times those results would take forever to come back because testing centers were bogged down. So it was a challenge. It was definitely one of the most challenging things that I probably had to deal with from a coaching standpoint since I've been coaching high school basketball. But I have to give the kids a lot of credit, man. They showed a lot of patience, a lot of tolerance, and they never wavered, man. They showed up. They worked hard. They did everything I asked them to do as far as trying to keep each other safe and keep me safe and keep their family safe. But it was definitely a big time challenge.
Man, I'm sure it was. We've had multiple coaches on the show since COVID started. And actually, I think really on our end, the pandemic actually helped our show because it allowed people who may not have been
Yeah,
available during that time for us to get at them and for them to have their stories told. And then our show just took off even more
yeah,
than it did.
yeah.
It was just all about how you handle the adversity, how you use it to make yourself better. Because I've been saying that this pandemic is really showing, the real from the fake. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no question. No
How to
question.
really handle adversity at its finest.
Yeah,
Are you really sincere about your life and other people? I
yeah.
mean, it really exposes a whole lot. So congrats to your team for sticking through it, and getting to a point where things are starting to feel more normal than it has these past few years.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I posted about this show and you being on, another legend who we had on the show a year ago go by the name of Johnny Parker.
oh yeah, JP.
Yeah, and he was like, man, he's a hero. So when you hear guys like that saying that, how does it make you feel?
Man, it's humbling. Honestly, like it's humbling because um my mom, I think my mom and my grandma, my family, my upbringing, like it was all about um being a nice person and being positive. You know, my mom used to always tell me, whenever I complain about something bad, I can remember when I was growing up, if I complained about having a bad game or having a bad day in school or, having just a bad day in general, she used to always constantly tell me that, no matter how bad I had it, somebody else always has it worse. So, she was real big on humility. I had no idea what she was teaching me at the time, but um, it means a lot, man, because that's one of the things I kind of prided myself on is, like I said, all those guys were younger than me, coming up. They were all good kids. They were all end up all being great basketball players and they're great young men now. And they doing the same thing that I'm doing now is, reaching out to young kids and touching lives. And, I'm so proud. I'm just proud of whenever I see JP, man, I see Tat, Justin, I see Larry, I see, Ryan, I see Corey Fry, I see all these guys, man, that kind of came up after me, man. It makes me proud because, I felt like I've been a part of it, and I've been a part of it just by being me, So, when you hear stuff like that, man, it just lets you know that, somewhere along the line, you did something right.
Most definitely. And I know another moment that had to make you feel humble was when you first found out that you were going to be elected as the Billikens Hall of Fame. Tell us how that made you feel and just how excited you were when you heard that announcement being made.
Yeah, it's wild, man, because when you're playing, like I talked about the stories about all the success and the things that we went through that I went through as a player when I was at St. Louis U from the low points to the high points. When you're playing, man, you having that and you going through it and you having success and things like that. You don't really take time out because it's always about the next thing. You can never enjoy it, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
score big and you win a game and it's the phenomenal and the city's going crazy. Well, you got another game, so you got to be thinking about the next game, right? Then you got to be thinking about the next year. So as athletes, you don't really get a chance to enjoy it. So as I got done with playing, um, and as I was, and when I got elected to the Hall of Fame, it was just kind of a wake up call to kind of look back at all the good things that had happened to me. And it was all based on just God given talent, man, and the opportunity. And I was appreciative of the opportunity because a lot of people, I'm not one to think that I'm the most talented person in the world, that I'm this special guy. I was just given an opportunity, man, and I make the most out of it. You know.
And Class, looks like for some reason your audio kind of getting small again. Sounding kind of funny. I'm trying to flip them up a little bit. So let's make sure we get the audio right so we can hear you better.
I think my volume. Something is going on with my volume. Sorry about that.
All right, sorry about that. For the audio issues, y'all. And he looks like he just dropped out. So we hope to get him right on back so he can continue on with the story. But once again, we hope that you all have been enjoying Erwin Claggett's story. I've definitely enjoyed it to find out that he has a thing for music, how he's in his love for coaching, uh, the game of basketball, the players that he followed, the coaches that he's followed, the connection that he has had with so many people, from going to Madison to playing over at Venice, calling Venice to Menace. I mean, just from this conversation alone, being able to just see this different side, it's really good for the show, and it's been a lot. It means a lot to me, and I hope that it does the same for you. We're gonna get his connection back on so he can rejoin us very soon. But we hope that you all have been enjoying this sports talk show tonight. Once again, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram. Just put in the platform Sports Talk Show, and you will see us. Also, we are on Roku. Any Roku TV device, you can go ahead and just put in the platform Sports Talk Show, and you'll be able to see a nice collection of archives. We've been on Roku for about a month or so now, so you won't see all our shows from years back. Not yet, but you'll definitely see a nice collection of great interviews that we have had over our 4 years. We're still waiting on his signal to get back in so we can continue on with the conversation. But we hope once again you have been enjoying this. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that bell so anytime we go live, which is every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, you will be notified. Next week, the ladies taking over. So every first Wednesday of the month is Ladies Night. Once again, Bunny, who normally is our host for Ladies Night, she will not be available, but we have a panel of women who's ready to hold things down for the next 2 months. So definitely stay tuned for that. What are y'all thoughts so far on the conversation I've had with Coach Erwin Claggett, the legendary Hall of Famer Erwin Claggett, and also any comments in regards to just what's going on in the world of sports right now. Mr. Williams says he's given us valuable insight into the journey from high school to college, on to the pros, and finally as a coach to guide the next generation. Exactly. That's what it's all about, man. You know, the moment that you step foot on the court, the moment that you, just doing something that you love to do, you shouldn't be selfish and just do it for yourself. You always want to do it for the people around you, the people that's going to be coming through after you, and you want to be able to show the way for the future. And it looks like he's been doing that, and he's been doing an incredible job. So once again, shouts out to him. Once again, until he comes back on, hopefully he will be coming back on very soon. I'm watching this OKC versus Lakers game, man. For the first 3 quarters, Lakers was like cruise control. Like they had about a 20-point lead. Now they almost down by 10 points in the fourth quarter. No LeBron James tonight. He's nursing a ankle injury, and they say a possible knee injury as well. So they're trying to recover. Then I'm watching on another screen the World Series. The Astros are up right now, I believe 5-2 over the Braves. Series is 1-0 Braves. So much going on in the world of sports. As I said last week, man, October is an incredible month, from NFL to the World Series of pretty much in MLB playoffs, the start of the NBA season and NHL season. It's just an incredible time for sports right now. So continue reading them comments, saying y'all, let's go. Let's discuss anything that you want to talk about. Something I do want to bring up while we're at it. So, of course, for those in the LU, we lost the Rams a few years ago. Thanks to that wonderful guy, Yeah, Stan Kroenke. But today, so let me just go back a little bit. So he was pretty much the one saying after they moved to LA, if there was any kind of legal issues with St. Louis, that pretty much not saying he'll front 100%, but he'll definitely put in how much what's needed in regards to paying costs for legal fees and etc. during this whole relocation suit. And then today they had an owners meeting, and he wants to try to renege and now not take part of any of the payment that's going to be required for this legal proceeding, while at the same time trying to go under the table and try to do a settlement with St. Louis, which I'm pretty sure was just nothing at all. Right, exactly. Let me see. Let me show the comments. So Ms. Williams says Lakers know exactly. And that's been their problem. They have a good start, they take their foot off the gas. Then in regards to Stan Kroenke, there's a shocker. So it's pretty much the way that he does business. It doesn't matter if you are a city. It doesn't matter if you are an owner. He does things his own way. If he doesn't like it, he wants to try to find a loophole, or he try to back out like he's trying to do right now. Right now, he is challenging an indemnification agreement about who would foot the bill for an ongoing lawsuit tied to the franchise relocation, according to ESPN's Seth Rickersham. It's a whole article about it. Go online, you'll see it. But back then, 2017, when the city of St. Louis, the St. Louis County in Missouri, and the St. Louis Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority filed suit against the Rams, alleging the team and the NFL didn't properly honor its obligations ahead the Rams moved to Los Angeles. Kroenke promised to cover tens of millions of dollars in legal expenses. And now today, amongst other owners, he's reneging. And the owners are pissed. And I love it. If you are from St. Louis and you miss the Rams, you love the Rams, you love what's going on right now. It's a great time because it's giving us the time to shine and getting our just due and getting our respect, because for a long time we was under the bus, not under the bus, but under the radar in regards to this whole process. But now ESPN's covering, Sports Illustrated covering, all these things are happening. And guess when the court battle starts? It starts around January, leading up to the Super Bowl. So we're going to be having all this shine going on leading up to the Super Bowl. But before I continue on with that, Ms. Williams, he's probably the one pushing for us to get a team instead of money. That's what the NFL is trying to do. And we like, no, you know what? We want to get our sorry, and we want to get billions, not millions, but billions of dollars sent back to us. And I would ask for a public apology. Oh, we were wrong. We want to make sure that the NFL gets exposed for any and everything because we've been done wrong. Let's see, Ms. Williams. If you're offered a team instead of money, we should say no. Exactly. Getting a team will cost us money. It'll be their money, bottom line, but I still wouldn't do it. If, let's say, once we win this, because I have a good feeling we will, I would get as much of the billions of dollars and I will flip it to get an NBA team. I'll use the NFL to get the NBA. So looks like Coach Claggett is trying to come back on right now. I'm gonna wait till his video is back up, then we can add it back on. He said, there we go. He's trying to come up now. So I'll wait a few more seconds. But yeah, bottom line, Kroenke is in some drama and we are here for it. It's what's the old saying? You know what I'm saying? Karma. And that's what's going on right now. Ms. Williams said it will cost us money to pay players, hire staff, pay for venue spaces. Yeah, exactly. Once again, it'll cost us money, but it'll be the money that we got from the NFL. It won't be our money. Well, meaning that the money that we already had, it'll be something that we've gotten from the league. So let's use the league and flip everything. So let's see if Coach is ready to go ahead and go and join us again. Let's see what's happening, Coach. Can you hear me? What's going
Hey, what's
on?
up?
Oh, he in his
Yeah, I hear
car now.
you. Hey, yeah, I had to come in the car, man. It's the only charger I got. I got computer that died out, phone died. So yeah, it's been a long day. I've been at school since 8 o'clock this morning, so everything's died out.
Well, hey, once again, I appreciate you taking this time out. I know you're a busy man, so thank you very much for just being a part of this show and really just opening up and doing everything you have for this show. Before I let you go, I was asking you once again just about being part of the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, what I was saying is, yeah, man, I think it's phenomenal. It's one of those things like when it happens, you probably don't really appreciate it, until, as you get older and, life kind of slows down and you're able to kind of recollect and you have those relationships that are long lasting because our team was inducted into the Hall of Fame too. You kind of go back and you look at, a lot of things that you accomplished, man. And it's, you're really appreciative of, like I said, not the accomplishment, because if you do the right things, a lot of those things are going to happen. I think I'm just appreciative, man, that I was blessed with the opportunity, not only the opportunity to play, but also just the opportunity to have an impact, man, on during the time period and a lot of people during that time period, man. That if I can have a positive impact on their lives going forward, that was definitely something that, that I'm appreciative of.
Most definitely. And once again, you are very, very, very much deserving of that honor. And to be able to go to the shape fits and look up in the rafters and, seeing your name and jersey, that just has to be like, wow, this is off the chain. You can show family and everything like, man, this is me right here.
But well, that's something that hasn't happened. I'm gonna say yet because I'm
Oh, okay.
hoping I'm in the Hall of Fame, but my jersey hasn't been retired as of
Okay.
yet. And
Well,
that's something, man. That's something honestly is that's something that hopefully, it will happen in the future. Of course, anybody that has that honor, man, that's like kind of one of the all-time things, man. I mean, it's not so much about you, but it's more so about what people around you and people in that era and people that's still a part of that program kind of reveres you and think about you. So definitely, I feel appreciated. I feel appreciated by people at SLU, but definitely that's like the all-time honor when you can kind of look up and see, I hope for those days and long for those days, man. I can look up and see that number 13 kind of hanging in the rafters. That's kind of like the ultimate thing. But even if that doesn't happen, I'm still appreciative of my time there, man. Appreciative of the opportunity that I have. SLU took a chance on a kid from, a town of 3,000 people coming from a high school of 100 kids, and giving me and just gave me the opportunity, and God gave me and blessed me with the talent, that I was able to kind of to make a lot of headway and impact not only my own life but other people's lives. So I'm definitely appreciative.
Well, now that you are officially part of the platform sports talk show, I can see something happening very soon, man. It has
All
to
right,
happen.
I
It
hope
has
so,
to.
man. I hope so.
I mean, and
I
like I
mean,
said, we
I'm a Billiken, man. I love SLU, man. I gave not only that program but the entire city, man. I gave it everything that I
amen.
had, during my time period, and that's just been a part of me, man. Like I said, I was appreciative of the opportunity. So I had the easy job. The easy job for me was to go out and perform, man, and have an impact. So I feel very blessed.
Yeah, and as I said before, we've had a slew of great guests, and after they've been on our show, just great things have happened afterwards. So definitely stay tuned. So talking about this current sleuth team, what has been your thoughts on the Travis Ford era?
Man, Travis, I would say Travis and his staff. I always got to give my boy, my brother Corey Tate, a shout out too, man, because he's been a big part of that program's success as well. They've done a phenomenal job, and I think more so, man, they really kind of brought it back. I don't know if you really noticed, But when Coach Spoon was there and when Coach Romar was there, one of the big things they did, man, they made a pledge to keep a lot of kids home. So they
Yeah.
kept a lot of good players that from the St. Louis area, man, and East St. Louis and Belleville. They kept a lot of players home. And honestly, SLU has only been good when we have a good contingent of local kids, because it's just something about it, man. You have stake in it. And I think they just go that extra hard, and then they mix them in with some out-of-state kids as well, man. So definitely, man, I'm so proud of Coach Ford, man, and like I said, Coach Tate, man, and the job that they're doing, man. I'm really excited about this year's team. We took a blow last night, with Javante Perkins, having a season in the injury, man. JP's a good kid, man. I was really looking forward to him playing.
Man.
But his time is SLU, man. He's made a huge impact, and he ain't done. This ain't nothing but a small setback for a great comeback. So you'll hear a lot of big things from JP going forward, man, and the rest of his life and the rest of his basketball career. But the guys his brothers that are still there, man, they're gonna pick him up, they're gonna lift him up, man. They're gonna have a great year. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. Watching my young PG Yuri and watching TJ and Fred and my big guy Franco and all those kids, man. I'm really excited. We got some good local kids coming up behind them, man. My nephew, Kellen Thames, and my own player, Nick Kramer, man, who I coach at St. Louis U High, who's a great kid and a phenomenal basketball player, man, coming in. So they're doing a good job of locking the city up, man, and adding some good local talent, man. So, you guys need to keep tuning in, man. St. Louis U doing big things, man. With Coach
Hey,
Ford, Coach Tate, Coach Jack, Coach Phil, all those guys, man. I'm excited, man. I'm happy for them. Chris May is doing a phenomenal job as an AD as well. So, man, it's an exciting time for the school.
and yes, I do have plans on attending a few games this year, man. So I definitely look forward to it. I hope it gets to a point where SLU and Mizzou face
Yeah.
off. That'd be great
Oh
for the.
man, we were begging for that matchup when I was in school,
I
man. They were
told you.
good, we were good. Oh man, we wanted all that smoke, and I know they did too, man. We just couldn't make it happen, but hopefully, man, Coach Zoe and Coach
Have a
Ford,
fool.
man, that'll be real good. Mizzou and Illinois play each other, man. It's only right that SLU and Mizzou should.
Got to.
Yep, yep.
But with that being said, man, thank you once again for this opportunity. It's been awesome being able to have this interview with you, and nothing but the best, man, for you.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. You keep moving, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love it.
Got you, man. Everyone, show love to the one and only Erwin Claggett. You arrived home safely, and once again, thanks for being part of the Platform Sports Talk Show. I'll be catching up with you, man, and see if we can do some more stuff in the future.
All right, man. I see you.
All right, everyone, and that is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I hope that once again y'all have enjoyed this show. Next week it is ladies' night, so make sure y'all get ready because it goes down. The ladies taking over. I can be chilling on the sideline, just producing, doing my thing, and enjoying the ladies talking about sports. When I say they know about their sports, they know. So get ready for it goes down next next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am once again your boy Smoooth. I have enjoyed every moment of it. Bunny, shouts out to you. Thanks for being part of the show tonight. Thank you very much, Miss Williams. Definitely appreciate it. Everyone else continue to share this stream with everyone. Share about the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, we on Facebook, we on Twitter, we on Instagram, we on YouTube. On YouTube, subscribe, click on that bell. So anytime we go live, you will be notified. Shouts out to my other co-host, Stan, and to Joe. I am once again your boy Smoooth, the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. When it's about sports, it becomes our business, and business continues to pick up. We out, ride. We out. We out. Ba-da-da-da-da.